Hey everybody, welcome to the Vegas Badboyz of Podcasting. I'm Matt Michaels with Sin City Steve, Rob Busselary, and the honorary bad boy Travis. And we got a little coca in the room as things are getting a little wired over at AEW. Things are getting a little more Scottish out there in WWE land, and boy, a pay-per-view that had 5 matches and didn't go 92 hours. That's a difference from another place I know.
Well, I think their buy-in pre-show, whatever they have, usually has 5 matches on it. I don't even think Rampage has 5 matches on it. Does Collision even have 5 matches on it?
It's a wrestling show. It's a wrestling show.
Rampage has 3 matches and 2 confusing vignettes.
Pretty much.
So
speaking of confusing, has Impact found his way back from Canada yet, or is he trying to hang out for Money in the Bank?
Well,
I think he got detained at the border.
Yeah.
By the way, he lied to us. He is on a cruise. He's just on a mini cruise navigating around Niagara Falls. It's a mini cruise. He was still on a cruise.
Well, I mean,
Semantics.
Yeah, semantics, Titanics, it's all the same.
Yeah.
So the first thing we got to talk about in Scotland is the obvious, and that is, Rob, you're.
Hold on. Let me interrupt you right there. Do you know how to pronounce my name? In Italian.
In Italian?
In Italian, it would be Bocciolari.
Yeah.
And that's what the fuck I witnessed this weekend was botches from my
better than Bocciolari.
She was a botchagaloop who botched on the top rope, and I went, okay, I could let that one slide. Damian Priest got hung up and it almost popped the kneecap. But then you tapped out. You tapped the fuck out. And it wasn't even like, it was like, not even like, no, this was a tap out. And I guarantee one of two things. Either one, they did it just to have a little conversation starter as to why Shayna Baszler and the other one nobody cares about should get a title shot. But more importantly, it was, shit. Yeah, I know what you did. Just stand behind her. Yeah. Okay. I didn't see it. I didn't. If I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Plausible deniability.
And then you got ragdolled for the loss. So it wasn't even a good loss. It wasn't even like she was in the corner somewhere outside the ring and the other two teams fought it out and they weren't a part of it. No, you lost it on Jade Cargill. She loses so much credibility now. Mistakes twice. Maybe, but 2 mistakes, and then she loses it. So this is what I want to.
You want to see botches and credibility lost, and watch that Thunder Rosa Deonna Purrazzo match from Collision. Two people who actually had a world title match in the past 2 months. But here's what I think people should not say anything about the tap until SmackDown happens this week, because to keep all 3 teams in the same picture, Shayna and Zoe were like, hey, she tapped out, referee didn't see it, referee should have saw it, that's our title victory, so we deserve a rematch.
Is that a
Jade and Bianca were like, hey, we never got pinned, we lost our titles, we deserve the next rematch. So now you have all 3 teams still in the picture to go for, a second match. Like I said, is it a work?
Possibly.
There's
no other reason.
Watch. All I can say is watch SmackDown. watch SmackDown, and everyone who's been bitching since Saturday night, or they're going to see what the next step is for these 6 women. So, I mean,
either
WWE,
way,
people need to pay attention. People need to pay attention what WWE is doing right now. Not just that, but the news that came out today about WWE wanting to team up with companies in Puerto Rico and Mexico. And they've already announced stuff for Noah and Marigo. It's like, come on, it's, and I'm not knocking them.
That
It's just the
prohibited
fact
door is
that
kicked wide open.
it's that, well, the mentality is you can have your forbidden door for 5 hours. We're going to do it for 5 months, if not longer. So that's basically what it is. And I think the most intriguing part is who in Mexico are they going to team with? Because it's not Crash, and there's only 2 companies that they would really, actually have interest in looking at. And right now, both companies are working with AEW. So which company says, fuck you, AEW, we're going to WWE? Because that's going to happen. So it's like, I think we may find out as soon as next month, because there are 2 live events in Mexico City next month. So, it's going to be interesting on which company actually says, hey, Tony, it's been fun, but we like these big arenas with all these fans here.
I looked at that situation with Jade Cargill as an opportunity to have her go against Bianca Belair into the near future, where Jade becomes a heel, where she could say, you know what, I'm not going to take the blame for this. I'm stronger. I'm better. Blah blah blah. Have them feud about it. Have her become
anyway.
You're 100% right, because that's why the team was put together. If anyone didn't see the long term of that team, that's why the team was put together. Now, why were the titles changed this week in Scotland? I mean, there was a reason.
It makes sense.
And
it makes perfect sense why it was done.
Out of anyone who had to go to Scotland this weekend and win a title, it was Alba Fire. Yeah. So it's not that big a deal, and that's why I'm saying the champ's not being pinned. At least everyone's still being in a 3-way picture for a rematch for the titles, which is probably going to be a title switch. So that's it's. So I think Jade and Bianca is a bigger match for an event that's not happening this year. I think it's. I think you can drag these 2 out. I think you can drag these 2 out as a team, at least through SummerSlam. And really, what do you have after SummerSlam? That's a huge event. Nothing. I mean, I think there may be 2 other events the rest of the year that are domestic, and the others are international. And Survivor Series is definitely not going to be at a stadium or anything like that. So it's like, I think, you could do the team loses that Survivor Series, and then Jade gives Bianca the dirty look, or vice versa. And then, that leads into the Royal Rumble, whether one eliminates the other, or that's where the match is at. But if they're not going to go with SummerSlam, then I don't think the match is big enough to happen. I don't think there's a big enough event for the match to happen on this year.
Bianca Belair turn heel.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Bianca? No. Jade.
No, I think Jade is.
Jade.
Jade is more of a heel persona.
I am that bitch. She goes back into that kind of gimmick.
Yeah. I don't, I don't need this because I'm bigger than this. Right. You picked me as a tag team partner because you were failing as a singles person, not getting the title. I came in and got you a title. It's I.
The only thing I'll say about the women as a whole is they have the women's North American champion. I'd like to see that fought over on the main roster or something, some sort of mid-belt for the women to fight over on the main roster. That's all.
It wouldn't surprise me if they create a mid-card women's championship very soon.
There's a chance that because they do have so many women on the main roster that, you figure as many women as they have at NXT that they felt that they needed a secondary title, there's twice as many on the main roster.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things of test it out in NXT if it works, and then bring it up in the main roster. And then that's kind of how the company, is focused right now. Test it out in NXT, and if it works, do it on the main roster. And why not? A new belt means more people can walk around WrestleMania week next week here with another belt on their shoulder.
You could do the Fox champion.
Yeah, unfortunately, they won't be on Fox long enough.
Oh, it'd be the USA champion.
Netflix champion.
The Netflix and chill champ. Bring back little Paige there and make her the Netflix and chill champ.
I'm the bloody Network and chill champion, and people have been chilling all over me chest for 5 years.
Okay, well, Rob calls it chilling all over the chest, so now we know that shit. Great. Sami Zayn looks to be done finally with this feud. Where does Sami go next?
Chad Gable. I mean, it was based off of Raw tonight.
Well, if you look at how Raw ended tonight, I don't know how much Chad Gable is going to be in title contention after dying on screen. Well, dying off screen, but then us seeing his body laying lifeless with the whole Wyatt 6 thing.
Well, but if we're going to think like that, then there should be no TV the rest of the week because everyone in Gorilla got killed also. Who's going to produce the show?
Exactly. You got to sell that shit, man. You got to sell it.
Thank God no one has an interview on the NFL Network tomorrow to bring their net brace on or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, that is the next store that's opening. Everyone was waiting for it. The Wyatt 6 now are in the WWE. I was holding hope they were going to AEW, but apparently negotiations fell through and they came to WWE. So what happens if this, you got to put the trust in what they've been doing creatively, but what happens if the fans, the fans don't feel this is hitting the mark?
Like that neon match?
Which match?
It's like the Mountain Dew dark match.
Pitch black match.
Yeah. They popped tonight, but it's like, the thing with that gimmick, no matter who had it, whether it was Bray or Bo, it was always about the entrance. And then once the bell rang, and it, Bray was talented. I think he may have been a little bit too talented for the fans. I think he was a little bit too smart for the fans, for them to understand what happens when the bell rings. And I think at the same point, there may have been people in creative issues who were like, well, let's dim the lights and let's do this and let's do that. And dimming the lights for a wrestler, it doesn't work. Should have learned that with Sin Cara. We'll see. A lot of people had thoughts of let the history and memories of what happened of the character just be, done with what Bray passing on. But I guess it's, it's 6 people that were on the contract and you got to figure out what to do. So it's like really, what are you going to do with all 6 of them as singles? So try a group, get the merchandise out there. They're going to sell a shit ton of merch. All these arenas for the next, few months are going to go crazy with the lights, and they're getting that footage. They're getting that footage, and we'll look forward to the next video game in 25. They're going to have that in the video game. So that's what it's all about. It's if people start to shit on it, then it won't be the match later in the show. It'll be the match at the beginning or the second match of the show, and so forth. So
Is it true?
I don't think this is going to be like a retribution, match.
Right.
I think they'll do. I think they'll do better than retribution.
God, I sure as hell hope so.
Any chance that we get fans who have conspiracy theories that Bray is actually still alive?
Sure. I mean, as much shit as that there is on Twitter, I'm sure that there is a faction on Twitter that believes that, despite watching the documentary. They probably tweeted it as they were watching the documentary about his life.
Tupac Wrestling Association.
Yeah. Hey, well, Michael Jackson still wrestles in the ring.
That's right.
In fact, he'll be here this Sunday, the 22nd, at the FSW anniversary show.
It'll be Michael Jackson versus Tupac versus Biggie versus Rotunda.
No. But stop the jokes. We're promoting here. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, Rob. You know what? Pay for your ticket. Sorry. All right. So the next thing on that show that really
well, you didn't finish your plug there. Come on, you got to.
FSW anniversary show. Santana Jackson in the Battle Royal. It's going to be a spectacular Nick Bockwinkel tribute Battle Royal, and eventually we get the big championship match between Shogun and Danny Limelight, and I think we might see Danny Limelight come out with the FSW Heavyweight Championship and also be Marquez's champion. How about that?
Now, the Battle Royal, is that like for a number one contendership, or is it just tribute to Bockwinkel?
So this one in particular is just a tribute Battle Royal.
All right, so
like Bockwinkel was such an influence out in Las Vegas.
I bet he was. What slot machine? But so it's not like the NXT Battle Royal where anyone from any locker room could show up, right?
No, but you might get.
By the way, Cody. For my people, you're invited to the cookout. Hi, I'm Brian Alvarez, and there's going to be a cookout with fans on July 4th. What? No one said that. Don't tell fans to show up to the PC on July 4th. What the fuck are you doing? God damn.
I still can't believe that.
The email I sent him was not polite. I hope he deleted it because if it ever became public, it's like, Jesus, dude. Don't tell these fans that.
Oh, we got my cousin up on there. Hey, cousin Tia.
Yeah, cousin
Tia watching us from Harlem.
Oh, there you go.
That's
there
awesome.
You go. Harlem. That's they had that Harlem Shuffle.
No, they had Harlem Heat. Come on, man. Harlem Shuffle.
Yeah,
Harlem Heat. Come on.
I don't know. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, man, could a combination to go against Stevie Ray and Booker T.
Eddie and Richard versus Stevie and Booker.
Yeah. about 19.
Then he the gun.
Oh no, I take that back. Wasn't it Kane and Cole? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Kane and Cole, Harlem Heat. Yeah.
Kane and Cole. Yeah.
And they're going to get Jasmine Guy in their corner.
Who? Kane and Cole, or?
Yeah, why not?
Well, they got
different world.
They got Sister Sherry.
Yeah.
All right. But
excuse the call. The Vegas fucked me up last week. I'm sorry.
No, but Javon is talking about Joe Henry. Now he's in NXT right now. Yes.
No.
Oh, no,
they didn't do anything with Joe Hendry, much to the dismay of internet fans everywhere.
Yeah, the internet. There's some things the company will do towards the internet, and there's some things they'll just completely ignore.
Well,
but I believe Joe Henry.
Realistically speaking, if Joe Hendry would have shown up at Clash at the Castle, dare I say he probably would have gotten one of the loudest pops in the entire of the entire show. So
that is true, but that's also,
of course, WWE wouldn't want one of their, their talents to be upstaged by an outside talent. Quite honestly,
no, it's not. No, it's not that. It's who the fuck is this guy to be on our main roster show? It's like, I mean, convince me Joe Henry should show up on a main roster pay-per-view while you still have Sean Spears and Ethan Page in NXT.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, you did just give two polar opposite examples. Sean Spears really hasn't done too much of anything as far as getting back over with the crowd, whereas Ethan Page has maximized his minutes for sure.
Well, Ethan Page is talented.
I mean, okay, we take Sean out.
That's right. I forgot you love Sean Spears, Michaels.
He's a perfect 10.
But it's just like, I mean, I know the internet wants this Joe Henry guy, is he in TNA? I don't even know much about. I know he had a
TNA.
Yeah,
I know he
motivational speaker, and then he kind of just took off from there.
I know he bought a billboard outside the arena Saturday. One of those electric billboards. He had an ad out on the billboard. So I mean, he's doing a lot to get noticed. Is it going to get him noticed? That's going to be the question.
Moreover, in the way that he wants.
Right.
I mean, the person they picked from TNA got noticed by just being a fucking badass in the ring, and she got.
Javon's saying that he's not in TNA anymore. He was at the show. I don't know if it's going to be like the thing where they would have EC3 out in the crowd, and you're EC3 got a front ticket to one of the chairs up front. Great. That doesn't mean he's on the roster. It means
they didn't do that because honestly, I mean, I think it's the internet thing right now. And I don't know if they're that deep on the internet. I mean, if anything, if he's an internet, sensation, I'm surprised Tony just doesn't swoop in and offer him a big deal and thinks he's stole him away from WWE.
I can't picture him in AEW because AEW lately is just too dark and brooding, and everyone's a heel. And
it's not even
he like a super baby face.
He's a super baby face, but the thing is, he's one of those situations where his theme song is, dare I say, more over than the character is. So I can see the ties to WWE where entrance music, theme, ambiance is equated higher than, and I'm not meaning this as a diss or anything of that nature, the overall packaging and the gimmick, the mystique of a character there's more emphasis on that than in-ring ability. And I'm not diminishing anything. It's a difference in philosophy.
He's not.
He's more suited for WWE than what he would be for AEW.
Yeah, he's not.
I've never seen him
in-ring talent. He's mediocre. He's mediocre.
No,
he's this generation Zack Ryder.
Yes.
How many mediocre guys do you need in NXT?
Exactly.
Well,
he's this generation Zack Ryder.
I can picture him in NXT, if anything.
I mean, who knows? 24 hours from now, he could be in the Battle Royal. He could be. And so, well, it's one of those things of we'll know it's more in 24 hours.
Think about this. From May 9th, there was an article here regarding Joe Hendry. How did a Scottish wrestler's theme tune top the charts?
Yeah,
Joe Hendry actually got to number 20 on the iTunes charts by just dropping his theme song on it. So
in London and Scotland and Tokyo.
You have to remember one thing. Who the fuck cares if the guy can wrestle? If he can get number 20 on the iTunes chart on the BBC, then they can do anything with the guy. Because
it would affect in so much as how you're going to book him and who you're going to put him in the ring with if he's not safe with certain people or if he's not going to be able to.
Who the fuck cares? You're a fucking fan of Jade and she just fucked up.
What did I say? She botched it.
And there are still people on the internet that are saying that it's all AEW's fault.
They don't have a performance center.
Well, they gave her
exactly.
They gave her 60 softball matches.
But honestly, like I said this to someone this morning. Yeah. Or it's not Red Velvet. It's
Oh no, but fucking.
Listen, the only softball is that she's getting her robs. So let's just not worry about that.
No, honestly, if I tell people watch that tag match over the triple threat tag, the first half of the match was tremendous. Like,
it was good.
Everyone in that match was hitting some fucking shit. Jade, they were making Jade look amazing, and then it was once the slip happened, it just got in her head, and and you can tell by the video that came out, in the past few days of the fans standing ringside, and he got the video of Bianca telling Jade to keep her chin up. You can tell it got to her head, and that's where WWE, as a performance center company, can teach her, don't let this shit get to you. Where I mean, AEW is like, you botched. All right, well, we're still going to book you next week. Oh, Rodney again. Okay.
Gentleman just posted Rodney. We could put that up. He had a good point there. With her, it was, first of all, I want to say that she got out of that fall onto the mat and recovered quickly. So that's props to her. She recovered and went back into it. But that was really dangerous for Priest. You could have, literally, pun intended, kneecapped one of your champions. It
was dangerous for Priest, but it was one of those things that if he got really injured, the outcome would have been like the reaction to the pinfall of a new champion would have just blown the roof off the building.
Yeah,
they would have had to call it audible and give it to Drew, which a lot of people thought they were going to do anyway. So, it was almost like, while they would have been fucked as far as plans of the World Championship,
they would have
had a tremendous, huge moment of Drew winning the title, in his hometown, with an unfortunate situation. But, everyone's healthy and Priest is fine, obviously. So I know a lot of people were saying, the roles are loose and stuff like that. I don't buy that. But if people want to buy that, then that's fine. It's their money. They can buy it.
And now we're going to see a great WWE production called The Judgment Day versus Liv Morgan. It'll be on YouPorn next week because they all got access to that hotel key card. It's I think the production values are going to be great. Vivid Entertainment wants to get in on this, I've heard.
Wow, you're dating yourself using YouPorn and Vivid.
Jesus Christ.
2024. Right. We're all about OnlyFans. I know, Vivid. Jesus. You dusted off your VHS tapes over there or something?
No wonder you're so good at
Excuse me, sir. DVD on a PlayStation 2.
All right. So main event, Drew. He should have lost. He did lose. Good. It's setting up the Punk thing. It's fucking phenomenal to keep seeing him lose. And I think that it'll be fun to see him lose the Punk too.
Fragile Phil? No, I don't think so.
So, do we know is Fragile Phil okay after making that 2 count? Because I know every time that he gets into the ring as of late, he gets injured. So,
well, 1, 2. Jesus! I tore my tricep. My rotator. Oh God.
If it was real glass on the mat, then he would have been in trouble. But he's safe for now.
Oh.
What this is all coming down to is everyone doesn't realize that the Phil thing and the Jungle Boy, it was all work that's leading to when AEW and WWE do that big pay-per-view that they've been talking about for 3 years now. And then we're going to see Forbidden Backdoor. Exactly. Yeah. Fast lane to the back door.
Fastlane backdoor backlash,
and it's gonna be in the biggest arena in the world, which is
the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Stop being an
We're going to
asshole.
be at the parking lot at the Arthur Ashe Stadium to 300 strong. Tickets are sold out, but you can get yours right now on shopaew.com along with a Jade Cargill t-shirt, 60 and 0.
Wait,
Yeah, they never mentioned that stadium anymore.
Shane is in AW.
That's been going on the rumor mills that
That's internet bullshit.
Yeah. That he's going to show up on AEW and run the company. And they're going to be
that's so
I actually wish he would. I wish he would. Just so people can realize. No, just so people can realize what the fuck would that prove? Name a time Shane was on the creative team. Seriously, name a time Shane was on the creative team. Never.
Just give structure.
He was never. So why do people think, oh, Shane's going to come in and change shit? Like, what's he going to change? But then again, name the time anyone on his creative team has actually been on a creative team. And don't say Sasha's friend that came in Jan.
They have a creative team? That's the question.
Yeah, they do.
Really? Wow.
I mean, he calls them a team. Then again, he calls the Jaguars a team, and we see how they play each year. So.
I'd want to see Stephanie McMahon. Welcome to Wednesday night AEW.
I guarantee if Steph went there, actually, I don't even want to think of Steph going. But no, if Shane went, I think it would be great if Shane went. It really would. You know, it's like if the internet wants to, like, go ahead. Like, what's he going to do? Add an extra 1,000 people to the show? Okay, great. Now you're hitting 3,000.
He'll book himself to go over again.
Yeah, it's like
money song, or do they have to make a new version of that song?
I don't know, but it's like, I mean, come on. You think he's going to sell to the? I wish Shane would go, just so the internet could be right at one point.
Now hold on, you said my vivid reference is old. Javon Claire is looking for Ken Anderson to show up at SummerSlam.
Oh Jesus!
He'll actually. SummerSlam 2026 in Minneapolis. Oh no, he's from Green Bay. I'm sorry.
He's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Mass.
Can we give Cody some credit for greeting the guys backstage and says, "Seems like you guys are in a good place at NXT." a nice little homage to Sean Spears, Ethan Page, and Brian Pillman Jr.
Lexi's King.
I did pop for the them reenacting the Spider-Man meme. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was.
It's the small things they do. Like I said, they don't do them often, but when they do them, they're memorable.
Of those three guys who get to the main roster.
What'd you say?
Of those three guys, Lexi's King, Sean Spears, and who was the third? That was with Cody.
Ethan.
Who makes it to the main roster first?
Ethan Page.
Lexi's King.
Wow.
Sean Spears, so they can fire him. So, hey, and speaking of that, can I just say they finally got rid of Ricochet? Thank fucking God. And then Apollo Crews is back. What the fuck is going on? Can we just fucking get rid of these guys? Jesus Christ!
While we're at it, can we dump Cedric Alexander? Is he still floating around in the back, like sweeping the halls after the matches?
Well, Apollo went because they said we want the bald black guy with abs and a beard. And then they're like, well, we just wrote him off TV on Monday. They're like, well, go find one. They're like, let's look on the WWE.
By the Performance Center, you're a bald black guy with a beard.
Let's see. WWE app, Superstars. It's Apollo. That was quick. Oh, yeah, I'm looking on trips to Scotland.
Somebody wants to see. What the fuck? What in the axe?
Did that say who gets the axe and who gets the smash?
I don't know.
Is that demolition? Is that a demolition?
And then Kevin wants me to take off the hat. This is getting really.
Vegas got me good last
No. You got to pay for that.
God damn.
Yeah, if he takes that one off, it's the "Make America Great Again" hat. So he's only got 2 hats in the house.
Don't make me whip out the wig.
So Cody and AJ, I Quit match.
Yep.
He didn't have.
It was there.
He didn't have a spiked barbed baseball bat.
I knew once the opening sequence was start brawling backstage. I was like, well,
hold on.
Unless you're gonna pull out a gun, there's really nothing else that you can do. No, so it was,
they could have set someone on fire.
That would have been funny if Cody grabbed a blowtorch, a flamethrower, and just turn it on. I would have, man, that would have been funny. But I guess Cody felt like he took one shot earlier in the week at AEW. You can't do it 2 weeks.
What do you do with AJ Styles now, though? Do you do the club and have them be some sort of little mini faction? Go full heel, the 3 of them.
I think AJ may be in the Battle Royal tomorrow.
Yeah, most likely. Bring him in. Why not?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I could see AJ in the Battle
Royal. But it does what it needs to do, and that is, it continues to make AJ look good, makes him, again, someone who's valuable, and it really kind of sets up now. Most likely, Cody will, I would assume, possibly team with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to go against the Bloodline.
Yes, Cody and Solo. Up next, so it's that holding pattern we're all in. Because
how long
everyone keeps saying the Bloodline and
face, though? How long can Randy Orton stay on the face before he decides to screw one of them over?
The bigger question is how longer can Randy Orton stay healthy and not get injured, because he's very much like Fragile Phil at this point in his career. So
I don't know. I mean, see, the thing is, we'll keep going. Even though I think this doesn't really matter as much at this point, but the fact that you keep going overseas to do pay-per-views, and those fans love to sing Orton's song. I think they keep getting that footage of him as a face, doing that. But I think Orton would be a face at least till Rumble. I think he'll go into Mania next year as a heel, but I think at least till Rumble, because you can do face versus face for the title at some point. So it's if anything, I see Owens turning first then before Orton.
No, Owen fell from the roof, man. He's gone. So he's not turning anything. Maybe over in his grave.
Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin Owens. Steve, any comments about what you're doing in your wrestling career?
Kevin Owens can't ever seem to keep long-standing friends. By his, he always has a penchant for turning on people, so it's just a matter of time. I think Travis is spot on with his comments that Kevin Owens will turn. It's just a matter of when. Although I still see, the Randy Orton Cody Rhodes match being a match that needs to happen at some point. So I mean, do you see that?
I think it's a big match. I think it's big enough for a Rumble.
Okay.
If they decide to do a world title match at Survivor Series, then maybe Survivor Series. But I think it's big enough to hold for the Rumble. They teased it. Everyone saw the way Orton looked at the belt, so the tease was dropped last weekend. So, yeah, we'll see.
But
this is a good
I
question.
guess here's the thing. I was going to say one thing is how much time are we biding until we get a return of Roman Reigns and then maybe The Rock?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Need to put a strap on Jey Uso.
Yeah, so
he's got enough DUIs. I don't think he wants any gun charges at this point. Jeez. That's the other company. That's the other company. Get Arn Anderson to cut a promo for you, and get Arn to cut the promo and FTR hair to actually pull it out. So
I thought maybe someone needs to use a strap on.
Oh, isn't that true?
So I guess it could be that needs to put a strap on. Oh boy.
But that's a good question, man. Jey Uso. Are we going to see Jay versus Damian eventually? Is that how that title possibly gets changed over?
I don't think Jay's gained the world title. I don't think he is. I think Intercontinental will be the most, or a Money in the Bank. I'd say Money in the Bank win. And having Solo costing his cash in.
Something like that.
And Big Cousin Roman comes back to, go back with his original bloodline of Jimmy and Jay. So, because before the injury, the Usos were supposed to be looking to be back together at this point. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
So, that pretty much. Of course, we had Bailey wrestle her match, which
Piper Niven.
Yeah.
It was. I think like every match there, it was there. It wasn't like it was the greatest pay-per-view. It wasn't like it was a bad pay-per-view. It was. It's one of those events that was just there. Was it like France where the fans were just off the charts? No, the fans were wild more than American audience, but they were. I think France took it to the next level, a level that I don't know if we're going to see again this year. Like that was just that was just amazing. So, yeah, it was just one of those pay-per-views that was just there.
We got a few people who are very concerned about the wrestling future of Stuttering John, formerly of the Howard Stern Show.
What? Is Beetlejuice in the chat or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's just been dead for a couple of years, right?
No, he's still alive.
No, he's alive.
He's still kicking.
Yeah.
He just dropped an album.
You don't see him on Instagram? I can't even remember how I could find this.
Now, Javon has something that I
he actually commented on a picture of Bailey's ass, but like on her page, like it was a picture she posted, and it really wasn't like showing like her physique that much, but
it was Beetlejuice.
He actually Beetlejuice logged on to her page.
I like me some of that ass right there. Yeah. Who got some Bailey ass? And then we're going to get up in there and tell her that the bees are ready.
Kind of like Bill Cosby.
Yeah. What kind of drugged up pudding are you serving up there, Mozzarella?
What you got to do is put the soma in the pudding pop and then watch it pass out. I don't know.
All right. So, that's what happened in Scotland. And then you came back over here to the
city that AEW would ever run.
Well, they don't have a Wembley. Because Wembley is the biggest thing.
Wembley Arena with Jade Cargill headlining, and we've sold out 90,000 of 89,000 seats. It is the biggest single selling of any other stadium that anyone has ever seen. Hard sales, no giveaways this time.
So speaking about those guys, Steve, what's been going on there, and how do I tune in to see the show? Because I thought that the pay-per-view that was done here, I thought that was it, and there were no more shows.
No, that's absolutely incorrect, man.
I just stopped. I just stopped watching. Is that what you're saying?
Evidently, everybody else feels the same way that you do, though, because their viewership has fallen off of a fucking cliff. So no one's watching the show. So the thing is, quite frankly, they've turned a bit of a corner from what I've seen. This past week's episode of Dynamite was very solid. It didn't feel like just a card of matches with no continuity, with no common thread. This past episode of Dynamite actually did feel like a traditional pro wrestling show. There were video packages actually establishing characters. There were backstage vignettes, promos, and things that we've been asking for quite some time to actually make people give a shit about the characters on this show. It's really telling that you have a match that is Rey Fenix versus Will Ospreay and amazing athleticism in your main event, and no one watches the fucking show.
Absolutely, because it was Will Ospreay versus Rey Fenix.
Well, it's not that. It's what we've always said, though. With AEW, you have to have consistency. You can't have one good night and expect the people to turn back around and go, "Oh, I missed a banger match." Well, how does that tie into everything else? Well, you guys have dropped the ball so many times. I'm going to miss some good matches and some good build-up. Here's
the point right here. Did you see the promo of MJF? That was phenomenal, and that's the thing. If a guy's cutting a promo like that, and your main event doesn't have anything to do with that guy, then who fucking cares?
Or
one thing that I'll say about that MJF promo is they're doing a good job of establishing him as a must-see kind of a character. They've announced that his match is going to kick off the show next week, that it's not going to have any commercial interruptions. They're actually making it feel like a big deal for MJF. So he's just come back from a long time off.
But was Roosh the right person for that? Is Roosh going to springboard into something bigger?
Roosh is not going to gain very much from this match outside of being in the match with MJF.
Is he going to help, get MJF that little momentum to get him back into the water, so to speak?
They've been building up Roosh as a bit of a killer, quote unquote, squashing job guys in 2 minutes on their secondary shows. So, I mean, I see what they're doing with it. It really wouldn't surprise me if MJF is not involved in some way, shape, or form. I know everybody has Will Ospreay pegged as winning the World Championship at Wembley. You're going to have to tell me otherwise if you don't think MJF is going to be involved in that main event in some way, shape, or form in Wembley.
They really don't have AEW. Doesn't have like a feast or fired or Money in the Bank type scenario where you can just roll up and cash in on someone, do they? Not that I've ever seen.
Don't they have like that casino match? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have the chip
that's right.
That gets used for nothing, and now
they did. The thing is, they didn't do the chip this year at Double or Nothing.
They didn't do it last year at Double or Nothing. They did it another. Didn't they do it like in Atlantic City? So
they've done the Face of the Revolution ladder match where they put a brass ring up top, and that's what they've been using in lieu of that, which is fucking dumb. But realistically,
someone posted like the MJF promo was phenomenal. Okay, that's great. Is this promo on their Instagram page?
Exactly. Yep.
Because it's hour and a half after Raw ended, and you know how much stuff is up on their Instagram page already. From clips of matches to interviews and so forth. So it's like, if the promo is not on the AEW Instagram page, then who are you really? I mean, how are you telling the world that this was a great promo by MJF?
You don't need to tell the world. Just Tony needs to know and think so, and then he feels like the whole world knows because his product is the best. It's Tony.
He's at that point now where if it is good or if it's not good, no one's really going to know because the interest is lost. So they're going to have to really dump everything into one good pay-per-view and then start to build consistent quality shows, well-rounded, not just, oh, we have a tape and we went through the tapes and paired up good, good banger matches.
So
we got to go back to
you have a problem with that theory, though. The one problem with that theory is that they've tried to do that. Look at some of those pay-per-views have been solid pay-per-views. It's just that they carry the pay-per-view to the actual viewing audience on a weekly basis. That's the unfortunate thing.
It's getting that viewing audience. It's not the pay-per-view audience.
Right.
The pay-per-views, you're going to have, people like, oh, it's Sting's retirement match. I grew up watching Sting. Is this WWE? No, it's A. All right, well, let's spend the $50 and watch Sting's retirement match. And then they watch it, and then they see the retirement match, and they're just like, oh, when's it on? Wednesday? Let me try to remember that. And by the time Wednesday comes, you're like, oh, I forgot. Oh, well, stuff like that. So,
or it gets preempted by an NBA final, and then you're like, I got to watch on Friday now?
Now once again, the NBA finals are not interrupting them because the NBA finals are exclusively on ABC.
But the postseason,
the other playoff games.
Right.
Yeah, the
we're past
playoff
that.
Games.
But we're past that. That's the whole thing.
No, I'm just saying they've had enough things preempt them over the course of the
having major changes to the actual distribution schedule that has to have also played a part in them losing viewers, not just stuff on their end. So that is something that'll change next year as well because TNT won't have basketball.
And the other company, they had dogs kicking them off of TV. So at least basketball is a legitimate thing.
Yeah, but
fucking Westminster dog show.
But if you look at the ratings for primetime the week prior and primetime the week after the dog show, there wasn't a loss in viewership. It was a joke that WWE gets kicked off the air because of a dog show.
Yeah,
it's like the viewership.
So damn straight. The whole thing is that time slot still had bitches.
And then what those bitches are always in Heat, and that was the show that followed.
No, that's Sunday night, Rob. Sunday night.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
In the words of Gorilla Monsoon to Bobby Heenan, will you be serious? But it's I mean, how do you gain a pay-per-view audience if you can't even gain a television audience?
Exactly.
Like how do you gain a television audience? And that's where they're at now. That's the point. That's where AEW is at right now. How do we gain this audience back? Because
they had one, but they made too many fucking programs. They catered to CM Punk, which was stupid. And now they've got a show that they really didn't want. And it's decent. It's not a horrible show. But
wait.
I changed my position on AEW.
Go ahead, Travis. I know what you're going to say, Travis.
Catering to Punk actually kept their audience. Punk was getting them millions of views.
No. But now he's gone. Now they've got this material that they have to fill.
No, what about Phil?
Really? You're gonna go with Phil on that one? No. The truth of the matter is that Tony wanted that. He wants more fucking shows. How many times has he said, oh yeah, we should do more programming? He's been saying that in interviews, which makes no sense when it comes to the fact that if you're not building your fucking primary show, how are you going to add more things?
Dynamite was great when it was just Dynamite, and there was no Rampage, and there was no fucking...
but he has way too many people that he needs a second TV show. Does he need a third? Probably not. Could one of the shows be 3 hours? Likely.
Yes.
Would you do 3 hours on Wednesday? Would you do 3 hours on Saturday? That's up to him. But he could literally drop Rampage, add that hour to Dynamite Collision, and
Ring of Honor Rampage, put it on the online streaming.
Try to work from there, but it's like it's just the like it's just the booking. It's it's
Now Javon has been hitting us all night with just conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. Is there any truth in Scott D'Amore getting onto the AEW brand?
I fucking wish.
I think Scott had what? Was it a 1 year no compete?
Non-compete?
Jesus. That's one hell of a non-compete.
Yeah, it was I don't know if anyone can look it up real quick online, but it was reported last week of his actual length of his no compete.
I'm looking it up.
So I think that's why neither company has seen him. I think really with P.D. Williams being a producer for WWE, I think people know.
He's getting paid by TNA through February 2025.
2025. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that means he could
Revolution next year.
He could walk right into WrestleMania in Vegas.
Yep. That's probably a little.
I mean, like I said, you got P.D. Williams and Robert Roode as producers for WWE.
Right.
Let's just rebuild Team Canada.
Yeah.
I didn't even know P.D. Williams was over. Oh yeah, you've seen him in some of the pull aparts. No.
You see him a lot. You just don't realize it's P.D. Williams. So
I didn't know he had a pull apart.
No, every time they have the fucking, you see J&J and all those fucking scuffles every time they do it, but so
yeah, it's like I don't know how, I really don't. It's not a knock on AEW. I just don't know how do you bring your audience back, because even if you're doing 750, NXT to 618, and you're beating NXT each week. If you look at your year-over-years, which these journalists like to keep bringing up year-over-years and this and that, if your year-over-years is horrible, they're not gaining. The year-over-year for NXT is gaining, and the ratings talk is stupid.
What they need is more of the demo god providing the learning tree knowledge.
You're going to put everyone on his list?
It's the gimmicks don't go very far, and they have a billion factions. So if every faction is at some level a heel faction, there's really no standout babyface other than MJF. And you have the makings.
What about your world champion, Rob? See, this is the problem.
But he's all over the place, to be honest with you. And he also doesn't look like he's going to be holding that belt for much longer, because they don't know what to do with him. I mean, he's got Nana dancing around. He's kind of one of those. He's like another Samoa Joe. He's not a face, and he's not much of he's not a heel or a face. He's just kind of running on steam
Joe
right now.
Was definitely defined as a heel when he wasn't defined as a face, and Swerve is definitely a face because Prince Nana is fucking dancing around. You just described a goddamn face.
And it's I think the faction thing
dancing around when he was a heel.
The too many faction things is a lame excuse, because really WWE has more factions than AEW does. I mean, you look at the LWO, Escobar's crew, Bobby Lashley's crew, the Judgment Day, Alpha Academy, OTM.
Well, Lashley's gone for the most part, and they're just a tag team again. Alpha Academy is.
Lashley's injured, who's going to return soon, so they're going to be a faction again. It's not like he's leaving the company; he's just injured right now, and he's actually on his road back. So it's like, there's way more factions in WWE, and everyone gets TV time at least once a week, even if it's just a backstage segment for 30 seconds. So that, the whole thing of there's too many factions, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to know how to use them. And hell, even with the factions in AEW, there's only I think their factions only have 3 people in each faction. I don't even know how many people are in the LWO. At this point, y'all could.
The
LWO. I think Impact's in the LWO.
So you're saying they all look alike to you? That's what you're saying?
I said I don't know how many that there are in the LWO.
Oh, so just like a house full. So it's a border problem. Oh man, Travis.
Well,
wow.
once Triple H says adios, AEW, we going to WWE.
LW is 5 people. Elgato del Fantasma is 4.
Judgment Day
is 4. 5 counting Rhea Ripley when she comes back.
Well, you have to count her. I mean, she is Judgment Day out of anything.
Yeah. Those are the main 3 that I could think of off the top of my head for WWE. Are those 3, and then the 4 is the
Alpha Academy 4,
and then Alpha Academy.
No.
Now, but with AEW, you've got the Bang Bang Gang, you've got the Elites, you've got the Blackpool Combat Club. Is the Foundry still in there?
No.
Got the House of Black.
House of Black. But of all of those factions, they're all oriented as being heel factions at one point or the other.
All right, easy there.
Oriental have.
Yeah, easy.
What does the Oriental have to do with the factions? First you bring up Vivid, now you want to bring up Iron Time.
I don't want to hear about your slanted views.
Oh God, here we go. All right. Give us the impression. Show. It's been a while. Speedball, where are you?
Hi. We're going to win all our matches, and we're going to do it honorably.
Wow.
Speedball Mike Bailey, ladies and gentlemen.
Speedball Mike
Another
Bailey
thing,
in every Power Rangers episode, when they revive the Power Rangers, they need to have
one joke
as the Red
He told the joke. Told the same joke last week.
I know. I'm
every week.
It's a callback. It's a callback. I'm also going to bring Jake Cargill.
It's his set. His set's the same way. It's just the same shit over and over.
Excuse me. Fake news.
There it is. Check that one off.
No more fellow Americans. We want to honor the accomplishments of our fine African women. And to Ms. Cargill.
Did you go to Sunset Park and do Obama?
Do you think I want to be killed? They're like, Rob, you need to go to Sunset Park and dress up as Donald Trump. No, I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. I know what the fucking guy sounds like. I've met him. I'm good.
And that's why I said you should go. You should have went as Obama. Because people would have loved you for being a. They would have lynched me.
Actually, this year, I don't know if you'd get your ass kicked.
The people that think he's God. I know.
I think it's a different year. Not trying to get political, but I think it's a different year. I think if you dress as Trump, you might not be as in bad shape this year. But it is what it is about that.
So don't dress. I was going to dress up as him in a prison uniform.
You may get your ass kicked if you dress like Obama. You would, Trump.
Yeah. Walk through the streets of
besides
Trump in a prison uniform.
Keep in mind, I don't think that you would have to worry so much about people on that side of the aisle with censorship. Right. I highly doubt it.
Right.
No, you're just not going to be alive long enough to complain about it.
No, they'll just laugh at you as opposed to laughing with you.
Right, or kill you. So again, anytime there's a Trump,
and then laugh at you.
Like when he, and then laugh at you. Kind of like when he does his
bald white guy. Know that I will be murdered.
When people laugh at him for doing his speedball Power Ranger gimmick joke.
That'd be great. He just take off the helmet. It's Speedball Mike Bailey. He's just perfect.
Oh man, no wonder Impact takes
he's got
weeks
the
off.
You know he's got oversized fucking 90s baggy jeans.
No, he doesn't. He wears shorts. Like I said, I met the guy 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago. He was really cool. It's like really cool.
How big and polished were his teeth?
I mean, they see. I mean, he has a great smile.
If he goes to WWE, they make $1 million fucking dollars off of selling fucking Mike Bailey teeth, like the Dracula teeth, right?
Hey, hey, we don't want to put a fucking smile on a T-shirt. We all know what happened the last time they did that shit. Okay.
I'm telling you, man. Bring back the
shirt
Power
was
Rangers,
that?
Mike Bailey. Be great.
Whose shirt was that? I forgot.
ACH, Jordan Miles.
Oh yeah. Well, whatever happened to him? I think this podcast should go and find these guys who just fucking were great and disappeared.
Yeah.
ACH. Is Rich Swann in TNA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't add him to the list.
He's hanging out with Top Dollar.
Yeah.
Velveteen. Abraham Washington.
He's still in NWA, right? He was doing stuff with them, I think.
Oh, he's back there. You know, there's a good list of Del Rio.
By the way, is anyone watching NWA here? No.
Not since I was offended by Sinister Minister doing a line of coke on the show. So
Sinister doing a line.
I'm surprised a certain person didn't buy the company right at that moment.
Right? Exactly. He had everything.
Like they catered right to him.
The company and the talent.
Father James Mitchell, I want to go over some lines with you.
Wait, the dealer delivers during the pay-per-view? I think that's why he does like 7-hour shows. Because he's hoping someone will just pull some shit out in the front row. Because you know there's no one past the third row. And
Nah.
he's like, come, we got a VIP section for you.
So who was holding it? Was it Billy?
Huh?
Was Billy Corgan the dealer?
You see that the picture of a video of Billy and McIntyre? I guess Drew went to the Smashing Pumpkins concert the night before Clash. Scotland. I'm surprised the internet didn't run with rumors off of that.
You've got
WWE about to buy NWA.
Here, Drew's going to get his 10 pounds of gold.
And NWA's finally going to get on the CW now. WWE helped him
out. So, Steve, anything else good happening?
Jesus. So, I do have to say this. Mark Briscoe's a national fucking treasure.
Absolutely.
The backstage promo that he cut before their trios clusterfuck type match was absolutely awesome. You even had Kyle O'Reilly standing behind him, corpsing and just making ridiculous faces in response to the shit coming out of Mark Briscoe's mouth. Everyone was doing their best to try to not corpse. Even Orange Cassidy was on the verge of cracking, and extremely well done. More TV time for that guy. In a show where, we talk about AEW not having characters, you have a fucking character right there. It's not going to take much for you to throw him into the regular rotation and get him on TV every single week. So that needs to happen. And he's a champion. And he's a champion of Ring of Honor. So, I mean, if you're looking for brand synergy, there you go.
But the one guy I want to see doing more promos, Jay Lethal, because he's got the most historic TNA promos that people watch over and over again. Use that. Get him to impersonate Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Ric Flair. Why not? And you had Ric Flair there briefly. I would have loved to have seen him run in on Ric Flair and just cut a promo. What do you mean
briefly? He's still part of the fucking.
He's still there.
Right, on camera. Seriously, on camera, he's coming out and actually doing something. I would love Jay
He's
Lethal
got to go
just
to Mesquite and sell his weed on the weekends now.
And then harass restaurant workers.
Yeah.
That's what he has to do. He's got to
give you a $10,000 tip. I'm gonna give you a $10,000 tip. Go ahead and write it in. $10,000.
Just the tip.
Did I hear that, boy? I just want to
see
that again.
So was last week when Mercedes had her match on TV?
Yes, Mercedes wrestled Zeuxis, who incidentally is the tag partner of Stephanie Vacour, which thanks to the announcing team for actually hammering that point home, why the match was taking place, why it was for the TBS title, why any of those things actually happened. Again, WWE does an amazing job of filling in the gaps with their announce team. AEW takes some more cues from them. The match was pretty fucking solid, I thought, too. I thought Zeuxis made a great showing for herself. And obviously no one in the history of AEW fandom thought that Mercedes would lose the TBS title, but it was still a solid match and it accomplished what it needed to do. And as we look forward to Forbidden Door, Stephanie Vacour and Mercedes Moné, they have wrestled in the past, so they do have some chemistry. It's going to be one of those things. How will they choose to go? Will they put the New Japan Strong Women's title on Mercedes? Obviously, that belt was created for her, so that's the only logical outcome in this entire thing.
So it's title for title.
It is title for title, yes. So
would you shock the system and take the title off of Mercedes and put it on Stephanie?
And ultimately, I mean, that's something to consider. But
I mean, coming up for this event, was it in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
If you do that, then you're basically saying that she's going to want to insert herself into the AEW Women's Championship
against the women's title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did anyone think otherwise?
Wait, Sasha having an ego and wanting to be champion? What?
Did anyone think otherwise? I mean, come on.
Mercedes going.
Like,
what do you do? Because
I would shock the system and to show that anything can happen at the Forbidden Door with my AEW talent. There's someone out there that could beat them on any given day. And she wins the title.
One time wanted to beat the Forbidden Back Door.
Speaking of the women, though. Oh, jeez. So they did run a very good video package on Mina Shirakawa as well. And this just goes back to things that they should be doing already anyway. Run these video packages. You had Mariah May narrating this video package that told you why Mina, is in this match, why, who she is. That's the key thing. Make people know who these characters really are. And I think that they're taking baby steps to get where they need to be, but it's possibly not fast enough. They need to get this shit under control before they lose more viewers.
But that's an example of one of the stories that I find entertaining, because they're and I'm being serious. They're walking on the edge of doing this pseudo lesbian mother weird. It's kind of like their version of the patriarchy. It's their matriarchy type thing. It's very interesting because they're getting right on the line there. But the other thing that they're doing right now, AEW, that's a good storyline is what they're doing with Orange Cassidy, where everyone has turned on Orange Cassidy and now he's leaning on Willow Nightingale. They're actually developing that story, and it is interesting to see who is coming out of the woodwork to help him. I'm liking this. They're doing one thing that's a little weird. For her to constantly run out there to help him is teetering on, mixed gender matches. I don't think they're going to do that. So I don't know how far they can go before she's either going to have to take a punch or try to do something. I don't know what their end game is with that, because TNA would just do the match and just have the women.
Oh yeah,
but not AEW.
Well, so Tony was asked about mixed tag titles in one of the media scrums, and he said that it's a great idea. So shortly after, we started seeing this stuff with Willow and Orange Cassidy. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we do see something of that nature. And yes, adding another championship into the mix, a mixed fucking tag team championship.
But nobody has that. If you can wrap a good story around it.
But that's the thing. You're relying on creative.
And you do have a lot of teams. I mean, because you would have Orange and Willow.
Johnny Wrestling and his wife.
Yeah, Johnny and Taya.
Johnny and Taya. One of the when she comes back, Julia Hart and one of the House of Black members.
Yeah.
Statlander and Stokely.
Stokely's gonna get a ring.
Stokely.
Yeah, but it's not like it's because you would have Tony Storm and Luther. So you do have teams that could be formed. I mean, it's a mixed gender tag, so it's like,
would you ever see?
How are you taking it seriously to begin with? So it's like these teams, as long as someone has a friend in the same group, like that's my tag partner.
Yeah.
Could you ever see Don Callis bringing a woman into the family?
I mean, Statlander's right there. If she wasn't with Stokely, I would say that that's a fucking layup.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me, especially, let's call it what it is.
Though?
You would obviously give somebody that would need the benefit of a mouthpiece. You could even take somebody like a Hikaru Shida and put her with Don Callis.
I think Shida would be great.
Yeah.
You put Thunder Rosa with him. I mean,
I was thinking of her.
Together.
I was thinking of her.
For a while,
if you did Shida, then you can have her with Konosuke. Takeshita.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that would,
yep.
I'm sorry, Robert. You okay? You might need a Kleenex.
But ultimately, I think that it really just it depends on if they want to do that.
I think the fact that he's thinking about it means he's already.
It's in the works. Yeah, it's in the works at this point. I mean, and it remains to be seen if that's treated like the flavor of the week and forgotten, just like how the trios titles were seemingly almost immediately.
Yeah, of course they're. It's like
they're.
But I like how they acknowledged though with the trios title. They had Juice Robinson running out with the belts on his waist. They're like, he cannot defend that belt. He is not like that New Day shit where they were like three of them and they were rotating. Which guy was this was good. I like it also, by the way, he got rid of all the Bullet Club Gold gear. On the first day back, he had that. Now it's all Bang Bang Gang gear. Bullet Club Gold no more. Bullet Club in general no more. I don't know if they have any talent left on NJPW. I don't watch it enough. Is there anything left of that on NJPW?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bullet Club's still going doing its thing. It's definitely diminished from
everywhere else
previously. Oh yeah.
And that I feel that's kind of sad because again, I the one thing I would like to see is just have that resurge across promotions. You can't do it in WWE, fine, but you could do it over TNA, NJPW, Ring of Honor, AEW Dynamite, and then would force me to want to watch all of those other promotions to see the course of those matches. That's a missed opportunity.
And the missed opportunity is WWE is actually slowly moving in, but quickly, and locking in some of these companies.
Right.
Like I said, he's locking in. He's locked in. They've locked in TNA. They've announced they want something in Mexico. So, like I said, that brings only two options. Yeah, Noah, and the thing is it's going to make other companies just be like, damn, like those guys are doing all this in front of these large crowds or getting this popularity, and we're over here Like doing what? You know, going to Youngstown, Ohio, in front of 1,300 people on a Saturday night. It's like,
The one thing though that was different from Triple H doing this when Vince was doing this is when Vince would work with a company, he would absorb that company, and now you're going to wrestle in a style that's more WWF than it was whatever you had. I'm saying this in the sense, and I've said this many times, that every promotion had different style of the way they ran their matches or had the refs come in. And
it had nothing to do with anything.
What I'm
literally
saying
was
is
absorbing territories. That has nothing to do with anything else.
no. What I'm saying
no
is,
one knew
if
who
I'm
the fuck
watching
these
a
people
TNA
were.
match,
There wasn't a forbidden door. There was nothing. They took these territories and they made it into the WWE. The only time you ever saw that the intertwinings was when the 90s started happening, and you had outside companies in Mexico and Japan working with them. And it was very few and far between.
I could watch TNA match and you could still get the flavor of TNA. It's not like they completely it's not like they completely took away the style or something. I realize that these I can't explain it any better than I am. TNA has not been absorbed or has changed its style to meet WWE. They're maintaining some of their individuality as a promotion, is what I'm trying to say. Poorly.
no, and you're right, because I mean, I think so I read saw on Twitter today that today is like actually the 2 year anniversary of Vince actually being gone. So it's like when people say, well, when Vince did this and now Hunter's like, let's forget about when Vince did it. Like, it's been 2 years now. We're in this new regime, and obviously, if Vince was there, here, now, whenever, there's no fucking way Jordan Grace would be able to walk out there with that TNA title.
Right.
So, but you see how open-minded the company is right now, and it will be, because it's not only a wrestling person running the company, it's a legit empire owning the company and saying, why are we ignoring these other promotions out here? Like,
that was the same thing with Mickie James. They made it a deal. They said TNA was like, if you want her in the Royal Rumble, she's going to come out to her hardcore country theme. And WWE had to relent on that because they said, fine, if you're not going to use it properly and have her come out as a TNA Women's Champion, you don't have to have her then. If you want to use her as a nostalgia act, that's not what she is. She's not going to come out dressed up in her old WWE ring attire. She's going to come out dressed up as what she is right now, a TNA champ. Which
you wouldn't get out of the past era, but in this new era, and I think that's why it's so hard for AEW right now, because it's a new era that literally is open-minded to do anything and everything. So we'll bring in a top musician and only put her on NXT to get that audience to watch and so on, while we still have, our US champion doing his podcast with Donald Trump, and it's a whole different, mindset. And it's stuff like, I bring up the lack of the PR department in AEW. I fully believe that there isn't one, because once again, today it's like, only place I see about Swerve's documentary coming out is on his fucking page and everyone else involved in the documentary. I don't see it on AEW's page. I'm like, dude, your world fucking champion has a documentary coming out, and I just hear about it. I mean, sure, your paid journalist posted the link on his Observer site, but as far as AEW, the company, like, dude, like, this is huge. Like, forget about whatever race he is or whatever. Like this is one of your fucking champions. Yeah. Having a documentary by two well-known, documentary directors. Like, why aren't you like promoting this? So I'll give them benefit of doubt if it's mentioned in detail tomorrow or this week on Dynamite, then I'll give them credit, but having Excalibur give it 3 seconds of airtime is not, doing it justice. So we'll see. We'll see if they mention it. But as of now, everything that came out about it was strictly on Swerve's page and everyone that involved in the documentary pages.
But
Yeah.
And that's
again, this is
that's where
what we've said about
AEW is failing.
AEW is there's no continuity.
It's self-inflicted.
There's no continuity in what they do. And that's why I'm like, when you're saying, oh, they had a great showing last Dynamite, I'm like,
yeah, that's one.
Okay, one. Now you got to do it every freaking week. And you have to establish the connection between Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision to get me to want to go watch Rampage. There should be some connection.
Which honestly, that is one thing that they have done this week as well, is they plan storylines and had things carry over from show to show to show. So hopefully they continue to do that and make that more prevalent as things go forward. And hopefully Tony doesn't just look at the ratings from this week and be like, oh, well, we tried, a couple of new things this week and we lost to NXT. So we're not going to do those things anymore. But no, those things are what you need to do in order to drive your ratings.
There's one thing that's bothering me on Collision. You get the feeling like it's literally the leftovers. You have Shivani on Dynamite. You got 3 commentators, and Taz is one of the best. Mm-hmm. Then you've got Collision, and you've got Shivani, who's not great. He's not a strong commentator. And then Nigel McGuinness, who is, but those two don't have chemistry. They really don't, and they need to find some strong. If you're going to run a 2-hour show for Collision, why would you not have 3 people just like you did Dynamite and treat it with the same level of respect that you're going to treat your other 2-hour show? I mean, if you want to use, they were using Ricky Starks on Friday night and rotating Jericho in to do commentary. Fine, that was fine. You made Rampage seem something like an experimental show. If you want to do that, fine. But you've got to really elevate how you're treating Collision, because those two guys come off like they're exhausted.
No, Shivani does sound like tired. He does sound tired. Like I tried to tune in and watch that Rules match, and it was just like I couldn't watch it. It was like the commentary was just like, oh, Shivani sounded horrible.
You make a great point, Nigel. Hey, Tish, you make a great point.
It's what happens when you put your grandfather on fucking commentary. These guys need to go out back and get shot, and that's it. Get them fucking off of TV. This is bullshit.
But then it's like you have
good doing. Shivani was good in the capacity of going behind stage and just interviewing somebody real quick.
Shivani needs to go home, have fucking the end of the life sex with his wife, and just fucking. I mean, not like kill himself fucking his wife, but you don't have much time left. Enjoy her.
Should he go back to just being a barista? just do some baristing.
Yeah, oddly enough, he does look like he should be in Clerks, because if you look at the two of them, put them side by side pictures, they look exactly the same. Yeah. It's kind of scary.
But it's also like, as far as their commentary team, on Saturday you have Nigel like saying like extremely like irrelevant lines. Like I forgot, it was on this. He said something about Tony's tits or something like that. Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Like I forgot the line, but he's talking about her tits, like legit, like actually using those words, like. And it's like, okay, now I've heard the word, I'm trying to watch the match, trying to tune out the, if you're an audience member, you're trying to watch the match, you're not really paying attention to the commentary, then you hear the word tits. So now you're trying to listen to the commentary, you're tuning out the match, and it's just like, it's taken away.
We're looking out for Tony Storm's tits.
Okay, so what's the problem?
AEW needs a solid commentator. A voice of the company.
Wednesday's not bad. It's okay.
Okay, Wednesday's fine. Wednesday's not bad, but come on, dude. You send your
Why
team.
have they not reached out to freaking Mauro Ranallo?
You send your team to do whatever, and a PR event. It's like Friday Friday, WWE was in Scotland. They did the PR event. Michael Cole's hosting the event. Who the fuck's going to host an event like this for AEW?
Nobody.
It's not Shivani.
No,
and Excalibur. Like, come on, dude. Like, you have media there. How do you explain to the media, like, oh, this is our lead commentator? And we're like, what? I thought this, like,
Taz is good. Excalibur's trying to fill the gap or the void.
Taz is good, but he's not a lead commentator.
No,
like I said, like at the point of like, not saying forget the AEW aspect, but think of the public relations aspect. How do you tell someone in public in media this is our lead commentator, and explain to why he has a mask on? Like, he's
trying to do his best Jim Ross impersonation, and he doesn't get over doing it though.
It's ridiculous. It's like your company looks like a joke at this point. It really does. There's no way. No fucking way.
He was there from the beginning.
So everyone's been there from the fucking beginning. Hangman Page has been there. But Brandon Cutler's been there from the beginning. How do you explain? It sounds funny, but it's exactly why WWE is where they're at, because they're a media fucking company.
Yeah,
and AEW needs to be a media company. How do you take your team? Let's say you take your let's say football season is here, and you want to send your champions and your lead commentator to a Jaguars game to do a sideline interview on Fox for the Jaguars and for AEW. And you got your lead commentator. You got one guy in a fucking mask there, and the people, most sports reporters may not know about AEW, so they're thinking this guy's a wrestler. Like, oh no, he's our commentator. That's where all the jokes come in. Oh, let's throw it up to the box again. Okay, who's got their lucha mask on to call the rest of this football game? That's when they start making jokes of the company and stuff like that. And it's like, that's why the company's not being taken seriously.
I don't think it's a problem having him there, but you're right in the sense that he's not a lead guy. They don't have one standout guy. I don't have a problem with him being there with a lucha mask. If you've watched enough Lucha Underground, he was there before. Unfortunately, he's known enough, but he's not at the height that they need.
He's not known enough.
We're just missing the fucking point, guys. These are all guys that those fucking idiot bucks brought in because they're all fucking friends. We all know this. We all know that half the fucking people who were there at the beginning have jobs because they're friends with the fucking bucks. We know this.
I'm not even saying he's bad as a commentator. But exactly. You know what would have been what would have been cool? It's taking that mask off him and calling him Mark.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Now I'm going
to you would have introduced a new person to the wrestling world in the commentary booth.
Absolutely.
And that would have been taken serious. It's not like he's a bad looking guy, but it's like, dude, you look like a fucking clown. It reminds me of the fucking picture of Sasha Banks at the fucking nightclub with the championship belt, and Thunder Rosa's right there in her fucking face mask on, and her face paint on. Like, what the fuck? Like, if I was fucking Tony Khan, I'd be like, wash your fucking face, you fucking weirdo. Like, what is this? Like, come on. Oh,
here's what I want.
Io Sky is going to win the fucking title at WrestleMania, and we're going to have an after party for her. Asuka, paint your fucking face and make sure blow some myth while you're at it. Like,
here's what I want. I want them to put ginseng and ginkgo biloba in Jim Ross's barbecue sauce so he can get back to retro Jim Ross screaming at the top of his lungs and also remembering what promotion he's in.
Well, retro Jim Ross would probably come back if there was actually some action he would actually be interested in calling.
All right. Well, this show is now officially at the point of Jim Ross's wife. So let's wrap it up here. It's a car crash. All right.
Oh God.
Steve.
So is any word that Impact will be back next week? Or does he even do the show?
No.
He doesn't do the show?
Impact is still on his
Niagara cruise.
Yeah.
How long can you stay in Niagara Falls? Like, Jesus Christ, it's been a week, dude.
There's nothing to do there. You get on the little boat, you go by the waterfall, and then
he did that. According to his pictures, he did that a week ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what the hell he's doing there.
Y'all missed the point that DJ's got powers, man. That waterfall, we only see this like in front of us, but he was able to manipulate and go behind the waterfall. And now he's in a totally different fucking world. Full of white fuzzy slippers and Beyonce concerts, and
all you gotta do is stay 3 more weeks. He'll be there for Money in the Bank.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to be competing against him. I have been recently hired by Sony to be their new Best Buy rep. So,
well, that's good.
Oh,
Sony's going out of business soon. We know that now.
Well, he actually used to work at Best Buy, so he knows all the ins and outs.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob. Try to top that, you jerk.
I'll come dressed as Trump, and I'll just say, "We've got a runner. We've got a runner. He's got no papers. Get him."
All right, Steve. What do you want to say to the fine people about the military and rep sports?
Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, as Michael's already said, very special shout out to all the brave men and women.
Mike Bailey?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw the.
Well, what's up?
I just saw the botch. I just saw the botch. Braun just tried to do the run up the road Frankensteiner, and he slipped and crotched himself. Sheamus fell forward, and so Braun fell backwards. Sheamus fell forward, face right into his nuts.
Oof.
It was bad. Two botches in 2 days for WWE. Start up that Twitter account.
Yeah, no shit. Botch Club.
Tell the AEW fans to start up that WWE Botch Twitter account.
Right.
See how many cease and desist letters they get within the next 24 hours.
No shit. Well,
sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good. Thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands, foreign or domestic. Thank you guys for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout to save yourself 15%.
Rob's doing comedy somewhere this week. We know that. Okay, so
this week, Donald Trump is going to entertain all of the gay masses at the Pride Comedy Show, and it's going to be on. Can't even read this. It's going to be in West Sahara, 5781 West Sahara.
What you just literally Did you write it down on your cock?
No,
what is that?
I'm trying to zoom in and I can't, and my phone's not zooming, so I'm like
it's
trying to
the way you look down, like so, like, hey, are you there, little buddy? Tell me where it is. Tell me. Oh, it's on. Come on, a little longer. Sahara. Gotcha.
It's on West Sahara. Lots of desert, lots of sand, lots of gay people, and you're going to see Donald Trump. We're going to do something very special for the gays. We're going to go in drag. So we're going to see Donald Trump in drag at the Pride Comedy Show.
Well, I mean, we're actually seeing Rob in drag, so that's good too.
It's going to be Rob Trump in drag. So I hope you guys enjoy. Another reason why I wasn't going to go to Sunset
Obama's not getting the same treatment there, Rob.
Barack Obama is a very beautiful young lady, and we're going to show Americans just how beautiful a young black man can be. And they told me to throw on some high heels, some rouge, a little makeup, because maybe I'm worth it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
That was one of the only funny things you've ever said in your life.
Good night, America. Justice has been done.
All right, Travis, where are you going to be performing this weekend?
I like the fact he had notes as if he's very, very busy. like, let me look at my schedule. Oh yeah, that's for LB this weekend. That's all I have to say.
I love when one Yankee fan gives another Yankee fan shit. It's fucking nice. This is great.
Yeah.
He was reading his notes. Like I thought he was like, Triple H. He had a lot of things going on this week. He was like, he said one show.
I
couldn't remember that. You couldn't remember the one show.
But tomorrow, no, you probably also see me tomorrow. Wise Guys Comedy Club. I forgot about that one. Tomorrow at 7:30. And that's the one at Town Square, not the one on Main Street. They have two venues now. So I'll be over there.
No wonder you don't watch NXT. You're doing comedy at Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
The African American guy says I'm doing commissary. See where his brain is at? He just got out. He says commissary. Okay. He's picking up a pack of cigs and ramen noodles. That's what a pack of cigs and ramen noodles are to them. That's called dinner and a show.
Well, on that note, everyone, you can send your hate mail to Rob just because we kind of...
Why not?
No, what you want to do is send your hate mail to Mike Bailey.
I can't wait until the end of the fucking year when they're back in town and we can get Bailey to just...
I'm going to get pretty heel kicked. I know.
Oh, my God, please.
Oh, we're getting you in the ring with Mike. And this is going to be fun. This is going to be great.
First of all, we're going to have that stupid little Canuck deported back to little Canada. Back to little Canada with the other French-Canadian losers. So sad. So sad.
Okay, well, speaking of losers, we'll end on that note. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week. Looks like on Monday night again at 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And then finally, DJ Impact makes his return next Sunday, the 30th. Yeah. He'll be back on the 30th just in time to do a show and then take the next week off because of the 4th of July.
Yeah, he'll be on the Colorado River Cruise, sponsored by Viking Cruises, where he'll go to Mesquite and eat cheesesteaks.
That's right. That's the plan. So until then, you'll just have to deal with this madness. So we will talk to you guys later.